Why Princess Leonor studied in Wales before she ever wore a military uniform. Before Princess Leonor ever put on a military uniform, before she saluted senior officers, before she stepped onto a naval training ship or entered Spain's military academies, she spent 2 years living a surprisingly ordinary life in rural Wales. No palace, no royal escorts following her through the hallways, no special treatment. Instead, the future Queen of Spain shared dormitories, completed assignments, made her own friends, and adapted to a completely different culture. Many people assumed it was simply a prestigious education, but according to royal observers, historians, and people close to the Spanish monarchy, the decision carried a much deeper purpose. It was part of a long-term strategy to prepare Leonor not just to become a queen but to become a modern leader capable of understanding people beyond palace walls. So why did Spain send its future queen to Wales before beginning military training? And what lessons did Leonor learn there that no military academy could ever teach? Let's find out. A princess with an unusual future. Leonor was born in 2005 as the eldest daughter of King Felipe VI and Queen Letizia. From birth, everyone knew she would likely become Spain's first reigning queen in generations. That meant every decision about her education mattered. Her parents understood that the world she would inherit would be very different from the one previous monarchs faced. Today's kings and queens are expected to communicate with ordinary citizens, understand international affairs, and represent their countries on a global stage. Traditional palace education alone would not be enough. They wanted Leonor to grow into someone who understood the wider world. Why Wales? In 2021, Leonor left Spain and enrolled at UWC Atlantic College in Wales. The school is famous around the world for educating future leaders from more than 80 countries. Students come from every imaginable background. Some are children of presidents. Others receive scholarships after overcoming war, poverty, or displacement. Everyone studies together. The goal is simple: teach young people how to solve global problems by learning from one another. For Leonor, this meant stepping outside the royal bubble for the first time. Living like every other student. Unlike many people imagine, Leonor's life in Wales was not luxurious. She lived in student housing. She attended classes on time. She completed projects. She participated in discussions. She shared meals with classmates. She even had chores and responsibilities just like everyone else. Security remained discreet, but within the campus she experienced a level of independence that would have been difficult inside Spain. For perhaps the first time in her life, many classmates simply knew her as Leonor, not Your Royal Highness. That experience helped shape her confidence. Learning beyond textbooks. Atlantic College focuses on much more than academic excellence. Students are encouraged to debate difficult issues: climate change, human rights, conflict resolution, international cooperation, community service, leadership. Instead of memorizing facts, students learn how to think critically. For a future monarch, these skills are invaluable. A constitutional queen rarely makes political decisions, but she must understand them. She must speak with world leaders. She must unite people during difficult times. Education like this builds those abilities. Why not military training first? Some people wondered why Leonor didn't immediately begin military education after finishing secondary school. The answer lies in the philosophy of King Felipe VI. Military discipline teaches responsibility. But before commanding respect, a future monarch must first understand people. The royal household believed Leonor needed international experience before entering the highly structured world of military life. Wales gave her that opportunity. She experienced diversity. She learned independence. She matured away from constant public attention. Only after those lessons did military training begin. The challenges of living abroad. Leaving Spain wasn't easy. Leonor was only 16. She left behind her parents, her younger sister Sophia, her friends, her language, her familiar routines. She entered an English-speaking environment filled with students from dozens of countries. She had to adapt quickly. That required resilience. It also showed Spain that their future queen could handle difficult transitions. Building independence. Royal children often grow up surrounded by staff. Schedules are carefully organized. Public appearances are planned months ahead. Life is highly structured. In Wales, Leonor gained greater personal responsibility. She learned to organize her studies, balance social life, manage daily routines, solve ordinary problems herself. These experiences may seem small, but they help create emotional maturity. Friendships from around the world. One of Atlantic College's greatest strengths is its international community. Leonor met students from Europe, Asia, Africa, the Americas, and the Middle East. Each brought different cultures and perspectives. These friendships expanded her understanding of the world. Future monarchs often represent their countries abroad. Having genuine friendships across cultures creates empathy that cannot be learned from books alone. Preparing for leadership. Leadership today is very different from leadership 50 years ago. Modern monarchs must inspire rather than command. They must listen, communicate, adapt, connect. Atlantic College emphasizes exactly these qualities. Students work together, lead projects, resolve disagreements, support communities. These experiences quietly prepared Leonor for public life. Entering military life after graduating from Wales, Leonor returned to Spain and entered military training. By then she was no longer simply a teenager beginning a demanding program. She had already experienced independence, international education, personal growth. Those experiences likely made the transition easier. Military discipline built upon a strong personal foundation. The bigger picture: Spain's royal family wasn't choosing between education and military service. They were creating a complete preparation. First, learn about the world. Understand different people. Develop independence. Then, learn discipline, duty, leadership, service. Together, these experiences prepare Leonor for a lifetime of responsibility. Public reaction: many Spaniards supported the decision to send Leonor abroad. They saw it as proof that the monarchy wanted a queen connected to modern society. Others worried she might become too distant from Spain. But after returning home and beginning military training, Leonor reassured many critics through her professionalism and dedication. She appeared confident, focused, committed. Her Welsh education seemed to complement, not replace, her Spanish identity. Lessons that last a lifetime. Years from now, historians may remember Leonor's military training. They may remember her future coronation, her speeches, her state visits, but they may also remember 2 quiet years in Wales. Because leadership often begins long before someone wears a uniform. It begins by learning to understand people, to adapt, to listen, to grow. Those were the lessons Leonor found in Wales, and they may become some of the most valuable lessons of her reign. Conclusion: Princess Leonor's journey shows that becoming a queen isn't only about tradition, it's about preparation. Before she learned military commands, she learned cultural understanding. Before she wore medals, she built friendships. Before she represented Spain on parade grounds, she represented it in classrooms filled with students from around the world. Those 2 years in Wales were never a pause before military life. They were the first chapter in preparing Spain's future queen for the responsibilities that lie ahead. And perhaps that's why Leonor studied in Wales before she ever wore a uniform. Because the strongest leaders don't begin by learning how to command. They begin by learning how to understand.